Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, 28th of November. So, let's have a look at what's coming out today in terms of news. He says, hopefully pressing the right button. This should do it. I can't find what I was looking for in a hurry, so probably because I closed it down. Right, so I thought it was all missing for a moment. Well, it was. So inflation this afternoon, this morning. I'm just thinking we got the Australian. We had the meeting minutes out. I can't see a great deal coming from that when I was reading through the news a short while ago. We got the monetary policy report hearings today. That starts at 10:15, goes on through the afternoon. We've got let's say the CAD inflation data. This is pretty key now. And we'll see how expectations come through. I'm just looking at 21st. It's already got data out here. I've got the wrong week. I do apologise. I thought we had inflation this week. I knew we had something this week. That's better. Goodness, do apologise. I thought, hang on a minute. It's retail sales that we had, Australian retail sales. We have got some, I'm sure we had some CAD stuff. Anyway, maybe I looked at the wrong news yesterday and it's on the wrong week. So I didn't look at this system yesterday. Right. Reserve Bank of Australia sorted that out. FOMC speaker later. Not a great deal then today. It's tomorrow inflation. It's Australian inflation tomorrow. I knew we had some inflation. So we got the German inflation in the morning as well that runs through most of the day up until midday, just after midday. Okay, GDP in the US prelim. So yeah, there's some data out there tomorrow. Today it's a bit thinner on the ground. It looks pretty thin on the ground yesterday. Let's just run through where we are at the moment. We sit in with the euro dollar. This is we're looking at it's double topping at the moment, and we're having a bit of a reaction to that double top. Question is, how far is it going to come back to its weekly pivot, which I was really looking for the other day. Yesterday. It might be coming back from that. At the moment it looks pretty weak, but often we see this and then we see a complete reversal around sort of 9 o'clock sort of time. So I'm holding the horses before I do anything here. I only want to be long at this stage, so a patience game. If it runs into the weekly pivot and starts turning around, then I'm going to be a buyer. Okay, yes, the euro, the pound. Similar case here, coming off a little bit. It's not double topping though, because the pound's just been moving that little bit better. We've got the higher lows coming through all the way through, looking quite decent on the 4 hourlies. Well, I say it hasn't put a double top in. It is putting a little double top in, but once again, same sort of thing here. It's not quite. Let's just come back to the 4 hourly. Yeah, it's quite a distance away from the weekly. If it does come back there, I'm interested. It might be later in the week now, but at the moment, the 50 EMA is not that far below. We could find some support off that first, and if that holds, then and starts turning, could be looking for a long on that. I mean, we are close to some highs here. We've seen the biggest fall off on the dollar on a monthly basis for a long time, probably a year. US dollar yen, looking at this, got the potential, if it breaks the lows here on the bigger move, it's coming off last night, catching a bit of a bounce at the moment again. So we're seeing sort of the same sort of bounces coming through, obviously inverted here because it's a US dollar yen. We'll see if we get a reversal off this this trend line here. If we get something coming through, that could be of interest to me. See, it's a start of a breakdown here with the dollar yen, and has potential. So I'm keeping an eye on that one. Aussie dollar. The Aussie's just been going up. We're seeing a retrace again at the moment, so this retrace is consistent across. Potential for it to get back to its daily pivot now. Having already hit the R1, it takes, well, it's been done, so I'm less interested in this. US dollar CAD. He says, we'll click on there, be good. There we go. So US dollar CAD, this is coming off quite nicely. It's seeing the strength coming through on the dailies here. It come within a whisker yesterday of the pivot there. It's broken the lows here last night, and it's starting to continue its path. Maybe a bit more of a correction. We've seen the Canadian dollar very weak against the US, but here it's strengthening. US dollar coming off. We are around again. We're around a double something, a top or bottom. In this case, it's the bottom. We'll see how this reacts. We're getting a little bounce on the short time frame, but it could well consolidate and continue. But it is looking good for the downside. It's just timing on that. It's, as I say, it's not those prior lows there. Something below that could be a trigger for maybe a longer term short position. Dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Again, we're just continuing through here. It's a bit of a repeat of the Aussie, so I'm not going to cover that. US dollar Swissy. Was interested in this. Can't get into it at the moment. It's drifting its way southbound. Lots of consolidation and drift, and then consolidation, and it's not really the happiest market it's been moving in. Again, a breakdown here. You need some wide stops on this because it does spit backwards and forwards, but probably not looking its best from where it is at this stage. Euro yen. Euro yen, I was waiting for a break to the upside here, but well, again, we might see it later, but the strength of the yen is just holding things back at the moment. We saw it yesterday pushing down, and this morning it's done the same. Maybe we will get more downside. I was looking previously, that had been yesterday, I'd been looking for the move back into the pivot there, but anyway, for now we'll leave that. Euro pound is actually in quite a reasonable trend at the moment. Got some potential further downside there, more on a swing basis than a day trade. It's consolidating where it is on the short term here at the moment, but still got scope for further downside on that. The pound is just getting its own back. Other pairings here, Euro or Aussie, not a great looking pair at the moment. It is in range. I'm more interested in the likes of Euro CAD, but this is with a stronger CAD. It's rolling over here. It's taking out lows, giving us lower highs. So it might be the end of that long trend up there. That'd be a nice correction. We'll see what happens here. Be patient and wait for the market to show its hand a little bit more. It is near double bottoms, could turn around, but to me it looks like this Canadian dollar is charging ahead across the markets. We look at the pound CAD, you see the similar thing in terms of it's starting to come off here, and the pound was stronger than the euro, so we're sort of you're matching them all up, and it is coming off. It is into a weekly pivot. We'll see what it does post 8 o'clock, but it has had a bit of a retrace. On the shorter term here, certainly nothing I want to get into at the moment. Already hit the daily pivot S1. It's done its range for me there. Okay, so not a great deal floating through this. I'll look some more through in the trading room in a short while. There's the majors, the indices. Gold first, though, of course. Now, sentiment on gold's changing a little bit. I noticed by the commitment to traders report getting a bit on the airy side, but with risk, I think out there, it's still got the potential for further upside. Yesterday, certainly it pushed up through past those prior highs there, and is still looking okay with these higher lows. Just got to watch for these corrections. I mean, the perfect correction into last week there. I was looking to see if we got a correction into this week, but it's already gone up to the R1. Potential is a move to the R2, but look, we've got quite a lot of confluence at that point there as we run into a quarterly pivot. and the R2, so just be aware of that if you're trading on the long side there on gold. Crude. So crude stalling around its lows here. It's really not doing a great deal at the moment. Just looking at short term, it's just pulled back previously there into the weekly pivot and coming away a little bit again. Maybe this will trigger later on. Very messy market yesterday. I've been avoiding it whilst things have been as they are. It's just too whippy. What time did that go? Usual. Oh no, it was a bit later yesterday when that started moving. But I'm really only looking on the short side at the moment. But do realise it could be a short-lived short. Because it's already moved quite so far in the way it's consolidating, but we'll see what develops. The S&Ps bit off again, no surprise here, just a little bit off. I mean, we've had 1, 2 on the third day down here, but barely any real movement. Of course, to me, it's just looking to where to buy it. A horrible movement yesterday, no real clues in this market, not really tradable. Needs a bit more of a correction for me to be looking on the long side. Okay, same DAX. Just look at the DAX here. DAX traders again, same thing, just waiting for a bit of a retrace here. It's still sort of lingering around these prior highs here. Are we going to see the Santa Claus rally this year in all these markets? For now, just drifting a little bit back, but if we find some solid support and a correction, these could be buys. FTSE finishing almost on the FTSE, just a weaker cousin really, and it's actually on the sell side of things. As I look at it at the moment, it's looking just that bit weaker. It's breaking out its this regression channel here towards the bottom side here. Now it could find a bit of support off its S2 just below there, the weekly S2, but very consolidated last week. We need oil prices and etc. to start pumping up to get this back into tone, and that will have the usual effect of pushing the oil stocks up a bit stronger. Okay, finally I will look, and I've been keeping an eye on Bitcoin just of partial interest. Just bring Bitcoin on there. Okay, so it's still tapping around the top here. It's not quite there. It's just like the other markets really. They're all just pulling off. This has been pulling off for a couple of days now, but it's still sitting around those highs. Question is, can it break the top there? If it starts breaking, there's a sort of a smaller trend of the wedge that's sort of coming underneath here. If it starts breaking that, we could see a big correction to the downside, but for now it's still got that potential to push through. Right, on that note, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you a great day's trading. Trade carefully, and I will speak to you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.